Welcome to the first meeting of the Operation to Destroy VARREL Society. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to rXis's Pacific Stage 3 preview. I'm joined by, for the beginning, we'll have some more guests coming in later on, but right now we have Sar from Fury, Mugshot, manager of I Love You, and D0nghun, the brand spanking new main support player for the Gatos Guapos. I'm just going to jump right into it because we've got a lot to cover today. We're recording this after the first day of matches for OWCS Pacific Stage 3, so we'll be having a little bit of match tape to discuss as well. But Stage 3, the stakes are very clear. The top two from this stage's playoffs will go to LAN. I think it's a LAN, right? In Korea?
Yeah.
Yes, they've
I
confirmed.
don't know
in
if that's
Korea.
been confirmed. I don't know if that's
Did they?
like it is a LAN, but I don't know if that's public knowledge or not.
I think they put out
They
a
announced it
post
today.
about it. Yeah.
Okay, that is.
The format is odd because instead of having the first place team from Japan play the second place team from Pacific and vice versa, which would, make sense, second and first from the same region play each other. I have no idea why they've decided to do it this way. Maybe they can be bullied into changing it.
Maybe.
If
I were to hazard a guess at that, it's probably because they don't want the finals to just be like two Japan or two Pacific. They probably want that to be an interregional clash to be like, oh, which region goes to the major? But
Yeah.
that would make sense. Yeah. WDG, their infinite wisdom. But the reason I started this by saying the anti-VARREL organization or whatever the hell weird thing I said is everyone's really high on VARREL right now. They did decently okay at the midseason championship. They did better than the Gatos Guapos did. D0nghun, I know you have ties with some of the players on that team. I mean, from what you've seen, do you think that they are at the moment the favorite to get that land spot just going into the stage?
At the moment, I think maybe Japan has higher chance to make the LAN for end of this year.
Why do you say that?
Because since they have lower ping to the Korea, so they get more access to Korea scrim, and that's what I know about. Like because D0nghun and Top Dragon, they are like my old teammate, and sometimes I DM with them, and then they say, "Oh, we are scrim versus Korea," but I have never seen any Pacific team screaming versus Korean teams. Rank game is pretty low quality in Pacific. But I see many Japanese players. They play Korea Saber, and Korea Saber is good to practice compared to other region.
Mm-hmm.
I think Korea Saber might be the best region to practice your mechanic or like game theories. But I don't think Pacific has got good connection to the Korea server because of like having high ping. For those reasons, I think it's just hard to have good hard to grind yourself. Just not the best. I mean, compared to the Japan. And so I think Pacific players and stuff, they really have to work hard to beat Japan, just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The reason I ask is because I think this is the first time ever that it seems like the sort of public views Japan as being stronger overall than Pacific. I mean, VARREL has, as far as I can remember, never beaten a team from APAC or OWCS in the past.
I agree.
But they beat Rock, so getting into the specific, god damn it, getting into the Pacific region, which one of the themes of this stage is definitely the Australian takeover, Australian invasion of sorts. We're going to start with Fury a little bit. Sar, this is your team. You guys looked really clinical in that first match against Cold Metal. I mean, that was kind of a dismantling. Were you almost even at all surprised by your own performance in that game?
I'm not too surprised. I don't think the Cold Metal roster this season was as strong, surprisingly. I'm not sure what's happened as much through the off-season. I think us, at least, like, we spent a lot of time practicing for what we expected to be the coming meta. with the patch change coming like 2 days prior to OWCS starting for us, I think we were in a comfortable spot to start off the season. I wasn't expecting a 3-0, of course, that it could go either way anyway. But on the day, a lot of the players played a lot better than I expected from us, to be honest. I think the showing that we had, I hope we can continue into the next couple of games through the season. But I wouldn't also say it's anything unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Cold Metal has been practicing as much. I'm not sure if they're just one of those teams that are kind of holding on to placing anything above 6th to keep their spot for the next season and just continue playing the tournaments, or if they're actually trying to look for taking one of the top contending spots. Fury came into the tournament as someone that wants to take one of those top spots or like push for those top spots, and they believe they can. I'm not sure if it's something that just Cold Metal wasn't, confident in themselves to push for, and they didn't really want to, so they've kind of taken a step back in this season. But it would be kind of interesting to see how they go further down the next couple of games, if they do improve, if they do start pushing for things, or if they're just playing for fun.
Yeah. And speaking of your team, the player that I think everybody's kind of talking about is Regret, who has really established himself throughout this year, but especially right now. It seems like opinion on him is very high as like the best hit scan in at least OWCS, if not all of Pacific.
Yeah.
Where do you think this hype is coming from? Do you think it's justified? How high is this kid's ceiling?
Oh, no, I completely think it's justified. I think Regret has it. I mean, some of the like descriptions that people say about him is very funny. They call him a serial killer just because this guy played so like in the time that everyone else was like practicing on teams. This guy he doesn't have as much team experience as us, like Scorch or Skip. They've been playing for a couple of years. He played so many hours of quick play just playing hit scan that he eventually just got the mechanics to do it. And eventually he got put into a few teams and he started picking it up very quickly. And I definitely think he's one of the better hit scans in the region. I'm not going to start like tier listing out hit scans on the podcast, but I would say I'm very confident in what his ability is. It also kind of depends on the day. Like yesterday when we played, he was quite sick as well, so I don't think he had as good of a showing that he could potentially have in some of the later games. Like he was coming off like a pretty bad flu at the time, and obviously was not feeling the best. So I'm kind of excited to see when we play up a bit to some of the stronger teams like TGG that he kind of show that off a bit more.
Yeah, Mugshot, you've been involved in kind of the Australia New Zealand scene for a very long time, right? When you look at this Fury roster, do you think it has particularly kind of the experience to punch up in those big matches against Gatos Guapos or against Nosebleed?
I think that if an Australian roster was ever going to do it, it would be something similar to this roster. It's definitely, well, it's the amalgam of probably the two strongest teams SOS has had for a while. Like as we were saying, Regret is genuinely generational talent in us. He sometimes just pulls a fight out of nowhere. Scorch, I have a lot of respect for as a tank. Hugs too. I just think that for a purely Australian team, it's just a great roster, to be honest. They're pretty scary.
One thing was that we didn't actually expect to get Regret at all. There wasn't like any like roster mania as such between the off seasons. It's kind of people. We previously had Demel on the roster for last season, and he was someone that was kind of indifferent to playing again. He was kind of burning out at the end when we were scrimming a lot, and he wasn't as committed into playing through the next season. And that's when I was actually going to play on the roster. Like I was looking at playing on a roster with Hamster and Scorch and just having a fun team to run through. But I heard that Bakery was kind of like looking for things individually, and it ended up with us asking Scorch if he wanted to come, and Regret was saying that he was also interested in coming, which is how we ended up taking Regret. It was never intended to like shuffle around teams and steal plays that we thought were the best options or whatever. It just happened to land in our hands, and I think that was very, very lucky, to be honest.
Absolutely, very lucky. I mean, I think it's also worth kind of noting this is like sort of the only native Pacific like organization that's kind of shown interest in Overwatch this year, which I think is like kind of commendable, like that they're doing this and they're doing Face It, which Face It OWCS is like, I imagine kind of a mess, but is probably just like extra practice that is like, probably pretty good to have.
Yeah. I wish there was a little bit more practice. I don't mean to like ego the other teams in the region, but I think the Face It tournament is very weak.
I can imagine.
It was to the point that our organization was offering each of our players $100 if we didn't drop a map through the entire season. Like, I can probably say that's public knowledge, but they were quite confident that they would be able to go flawless, or if not near flawless, through the season, just because the strength isn't as
Last season or this current season?
Last couple seasons. This current season that we're playing in.
Have you dropped a map yet?
We actually did. Funnily enough, we dropped it to the Undesirables, which they absolutely adored. I'm not gonna speak too much on it, but it's not relevant to OWCS, but it was quite a misfortune, to be honest.
Yeah.
Our players are a little bit indifferent to it. They was like, okay, well, I guess we dropped a map. We can kind of just chill out for the rest of the season now.
Yeah.
And just like fuck around and enjoy the Face It games. But I don't know if I can swear.
The Undesirables have their fingertips in a couple of places this stage, which we will get to later.
That's why I'm mentioning them. That they have a few of their players that are spread out in the tournament that happen to get picked up. It's very close to cut off for contracts, not contracts for sign-ups.
Yeah. It's very funny.
So it was a little bit awkward with the timing of that one, and them dropping a map to Undesirables, who I don't think they honestly thought they were going to drop a map to. No shame to them, but like again, the organization was pretty willing to back $100 on us to not drop a map. So
that's amazing.
But I unfortunately, because it's the system for Face It is what's it called? We just play as many matches as possible. So not like round robin type, but we're just playing like 3 matches a week against teams that are like mid masters, diamond. It's not really much practice. We're forced to play the matches against them, and then cancel scrim times because we have to play these matches. So we're kind of losing out on practice with that.
Interesting, yeah. Because they merged, they just dropped having Face It open tier in OWCS and just merged it all into one, right?
Yeah. So you have a mix of skill levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's good for those players to experience it. You know, there's people coming up, which I haven't seen for quite a few years in the scene, that are like interested in competing, interested in trying to grind to hit OWCS. Like all these players are tweeting out like their new peaks and stuff on Twitter and very excited about it. And it's cool to see, but then also it's not as like competitive for the top teams that have been playing for a while, and we're just trying to then like get good quality matches in. We have to play against some of these teams.
Right.
Not like insulting them. I just mean, unfortunately, that's how the system works for Face It.
Right. Now, D0nghun, I know haven't turned to you in this segment, mainly because I kind of just assume you don't know shit about any of these Fury players.
Not really.
It's kind of funny. I was like looking through and I was like, oh yeah, like D0nghun's played in OWCS before, like Pacific, but I don't think you ever have you?
Never have played in Pacific.
It's like,
this is my first time.
Maybe it's just me, but I like that kind of surprised me just because of, you know, the sort of, you've done a lot of region hopping and you like are fluent in English. I would have thought it would have happened before at some point. Maybe I'm also, I think also I just personally speaking, sometimes I forget what teams you've been on and what team's opener has been on, just because I feel like you've had somewhat similar careers a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit how you got recruited to the Gatos Guapos.
First of all, I was kind of running out of the time, and I think TGG, they also were running out of the time to find new main support or anything. Also, I've got DM'd by Nyang, who was a friend with Dreamer, and me and Dreamer have played in Dreamer together. So me and Yang were kind of friend, and Yang have DM'd me, and that got me able to be on this team.
Yeah, so I know last stage it was kind of funny how Gatos Guapos were not really planning to scrim, and then they got upset in their first match and kind of started taking things a bit more seriously. How much is Gatos Guapos planning to like scrim or practice during the regular season this stage?
I've joined this team like a week by now. So I don't know much about how they were before, but at the moment, they're like we are planning to scrim almost every day, or at least like if it's maximum like three or 2 days off day,
Yeah.
because some people cannot make it for some reason.
Yeah, so pretty standard probably for
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
teams outside of
It,
the ones that are
yeah,
on full-time money.
it's not like having double block every day, but trying to have one block each days. So that's what we're like how much scrim we're booking and we're trying to get at this moment.
I'm really curious, how is it for you coming into this new team environment? What are some things you've noticed about how they communicate, or any kind of interesting dynamics you've seen within the team coming into it as a new player?
I think they're already kind of experienced. For example, Punk and Colorx, they have been in Overwatch League,
Mm-hmm.
and Yang, he was in Contenders, like even in Korea region. So they've been playing together for like years by now, based on what I know. So I think they're a really good team, and yeah, just good. They are all experienced. Nothing much different from me to think, oh, this is all team, so I have to like think something different.
Mm-hmm.
No, not needed. It's just same as like NA team or other European teams,
Right.
kind of that.
And so let's talk about what you guys did in your first match. You pretty cleanly handled
Oh yeah.
Newgens, except for the first round of control where you lost to Jay on Junker Queen.
Yeah.
Don't really know what happened there. Punk was on ball.
Yeah.
Maybe just first round jitters, but the thing that stuck out to me is you guys were playing a lot of Wu Yang.
Yeah.
So what do you see as his strength in the metagame? And I'd like to also hear from Sar and Mugshot, whether you think, just from these first couple days that we've seen, if Wu Yang is going to be a big part of the metagame moving forward.
Oh, I think Uyang is definitely hard meta hero unless Kiri Lucio is alive. Kiri Lucio is hard to beat because just like Uyang is like a flex support character, but with a good poke. And normally, if you play double flex support comp like Ana Zen or like Juno, Kiriko, those are really weak versus D.Va. But I think if you have Uyang as a support, Uyang is pretty good against D.Va because his E can like killing and boop at the same time, and it's hard to get dive on Uyang as a D.Va. So it's really good to have Uyang with another flex support, and art value is decent as long as if you're going early. Good to
Mm-hmm.
force some ultimate out first, but in versus Lucio Kiri, it's pretty hard to survive, uh, unless if you have like Ball or Vincent who's like forcing their city or depending on maps. So just have to work with bans about like figuring out like what map have to ban Lu Kiri or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, something like that.
Did you find him fun to play? I'm just curious your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty fun to play, but it's kind of boring to play in rank because in rank no in Korea rank especially they don't really talk much, so you just gotta have to expect your team to do some stuff. But if they don't do that stuff, Uyang is gonna get dived. I think Uyang is decent 1v1 versus only Tracer, but when you get dived by like more than one person, it's kind of GG. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of boring to play in rank, but it's just fun hero just in general, I'll
Interesting.
say.
Yeah. Sar, what's your read on Wu Yang's viability?
I think Wu Yang's like really, really strong in ranked. I don't know if it's got a place in the meta yet, just because Kiri Lucio is one of those comps that it's just always versatile. And it fits into both like a blend of rush and dive comps. So even if teams are oriented more one direction, Lucio Kiri is very, very strong. I think the character itself, if it has a little bit more time across the season, I definitely think it can see play. Especially with OWCS having bans. I wouldn't be surprised if people start practicing it as just a backup support comp. I'm not sure how strong they will be on it. I don't think anyone's going to be as strong this season until like the mid break, if any. If it's going to take a while for it to solidify into the meta. I think it might be like one of those like rank stomper characters just because it's new on release. I know Hamster, our flex support, he got on an alt account to try it out and he went 100% win rate to GM1 in one day playing Wu Young. Like he didn't lose a single game.
Wow.
So that's my only, because I haven't played it myself. That's the only read I have on the character. We tried it a little bit in scrims and it felt a bit weak playing it with like a Lucio, having it as a traditional flex support character and then playing with a Lucio.
It seems like he's not a flex. It seems like he's a main support.
Yeah,
like he's a little more mechanical than like a Lucio or a Mercy, but like role wise, he is a. I think it seems like he's a main support.
My idea is that you would pair Wu Young potentially with Kiriko for one of those like lane control supports. So you have Wu Young as a very good like space clearer, especially with like being able to slam damage down onto high grounds from below. You can put a little bit of burst onto certain like lanes and high grounds a lot more effortlessly than some of the other supports. I think there is a place for it. I don't know if it's going to be like one of those comps that people are going to have to like one trick and commit to, or it's going to be something that you can kind of flex into occasionally if things are banned. Especially because I think Juno's really weak at the moment, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think the Juno Brig was meta for a while, and I think that character just got completely gutted with the fall off and the movement changes and the ult charge, and I don't see it being played in much in pro games anymore. So hopefully someone tries to figure out a comp for. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just something they're more familiar with. I know they had
we'll talk about that later in the
video. Main support players playing it. So I don't know if he's in North America right now or Europe, but him playing on like 200 ping, there's not much he can really play, to be honest.
Yeah, I would assume he's in Ontario, but we'll get to Cold Metal later on. Trust me. Oh boy, I've got some questions. I've got some questions for Mememachine. I want to move on to the only other team that you could like kind of call an org, by which I mean I think it's a moderately wealthy Saudi guy's sort of pet project, INVADERS, which signed the Trap 12 roster here for Stage 3. D0nghun, I want to go to you first because the DPS, the flex DPS on this team finally is your former teammate on Dreamers, and I gave you my condolences that you guys didn't make Korea. I was like really, really hoping you guys would. Real shame there, but Korea Open qualifiers are brutal. And you and finally have both found your way to Pacific. So tell us a little bit about finally, like what do you think his strengths are? What's a player in Korea that's a bit more established that you would like compare him to?
I mean, he's new player. He's new to the scene, so I'll say he listens a lot, but he doesn't come a lot. Even he tries to come like communication, make some call out. He's like, I could hear him not sure about what to do. But when I was in Dreamers a few days ago, I was the one person who was making all the plans, art track, some stuff like that. So maybe that was the reason. But I don't know a lot of stuff about him because it was just like too short time to work with him. It was just a week and half to be screaming.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was sort of on your radar for a while.
It's hard to tell, but he's grinding a lot, so that's what I like.
I remember him from like one of the Poker Face, what do they call it? Like the Poker Face potential match or something like that. He's one of those sort of young new Korean players, kind of in the same category as like Kane and Ivor, Dodo. I thought his Tracer looked like pretty good against Nosebleed. I think he got like a 3K on Suravasa, and I was like, damn, okay, that was pretty good. Does he play Mei? I feel like if he was on Dreamers, he has to play Mei.
I mean, we didn't play any kind of Rain Rushcom, so and meta is really not good for Mei at the moment. So
well, that's why you didn't qualify, D0nghun.
Man, I mean, I was doing good, but I think we just didn't have enough time to coordinate together. You know, when I say like fight direction, they say yes, but you're just not in sync. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other player on this team that I want to highlight a little bit is their tank Ja Morant. Has taken his name from an NBA player. Which,
Yeah.
So, okay, if you've seen on Twitter, Aki, the flex support for Gatos Guapos, every couple of months he does like an OWCS ranked server, an OWCS server ranked tier list. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, tier list.
Yeah.
And he had Ja Morant pretty high, I think in like A tier. So that probably means something. Mugshot, what do you know about Ja Morant? What would you say kind of his specialty is, or like what, is he somebody that we should have on our radar?
So Ja Morant played on team I used to manage, Stronghold Esports back, I think 1 or 2 seasons of Face It ago.
Mm-hmm.
He played a lot of RAM for us then. I would say as far as the like active OWCS tanks players, he's definitely one of the stronger ones, but he's not Scorch level strong. He's a good player, but I think he is someone to keep an eye on for future seasons potentially.
Something that I think is worth bringing up is that if you look at the 8 starting tank players here in Stage 3, only 2 of them were starting tank players in Pacific in Stage 2. Kyren is also still on a team, but he's moved to a backup role behind Protect. There's a lot of new tanks in this stage. You've got Scorch, you've got Ja Morant. We'll talk about Upset Olive in a bit, because I got some questions about him. So a lot of like changing of the guard happening at the tank role, especially in Australia. I think it's really easy to say, like, to look at a tank player from Australia and try and like designate somebody as the next Punk, kind of like what people would do with Saudi tank players in KSA. I don't want to do that because I think that's unfair pressure to put on somebody, but Ja Morant is definitely somebody that I think, as you said, Mugshot, is worth having your eye on. The one other player I kind of want to take this bit on Invaders is Kurumi, who is a player that I've had an up and down relationship with, because I've seen this man diff shy on Widowmaker on LAN, but I've also seen him do absolutely nothing for entire series. Kurumi is like one of those old Overwatch 1, he reminds me of Logix, back from Overwatch League, where he can dominate a round and then go completely silent. And I don't know if that is a recipe for consistent success, but he is so fun to watch when he's hitting on all cylinders.
I don't know too much about him. I think he's one of, I've seen bits of him. Like we've had scrims and obviously the MG2 season last OWCS. I think he is one of those players that is very hit or miss, to be fair. Yeah. I think some games he turned up, some games he didn't. I don't know if that's just related to their team environment, related to like him personally, or what's happening. It could be one of those things that he could absolutely just like deadlift one of those teams, but I don't know if he'll be enabled properly on this roster. I think if he is one of those players, he might honestly be missing out just because the roster is a bit mixed. He's from Hong Kong, and they've got like a mix of Korean support, Australian support, Australian tank. So I'm not sure if he's actually going to get fully enabled with a mixed comms roster. It might be something you have to just watch and see. Maybe he doesn't have to actually comm and can do things himself. But it might be one of those like potential players that you don't get to see fully just because of the roster.
All right, we're going to move on to our next team segment here. Now, joining us for the rest of the video in D0nghun's place is going to be rXis, the maestro of Pacific Overwatch. What team are we talking about now? Oh, Newgens. Okay. This team is weird. This team is so weird. This team bought Retirement Home's slot. And the funny thing is they had to have Jay, who's technically like there on the bench, come in and play tank. And it was very funny, especially because they won the first control point against Gatos Guapos with Jay on Junker Queen. It went downhill very quickly after that, but for a second there. It was very interesting. There are two players on this team that I've heard some interesting things about. One is their tank player, Upset Olive, who hasn't played yet. He's a Lithuanian, lives in Australia, but does count as an import. Mugshot, you were telling me that about his backstory. What do you know about him as a player?
When we were looking to field that super idol team for open quals, he was one of the people we trailed and were interested in having as one of our tank. Like I think he was playing backup to Akari for us in open quals was the plan. So the strongest out of the people we tested for that tank spot. I'll be interested to see how he plays, in the main stage itself now that he's here. Once he gets back, but
He gets unbanned.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, he got his account banned.
Oh, this
He's banned for
region
2 weeks.
never
So he won't be
changed.
playing next week either.
Oh my god. So we get another
According
week
to
of
Jay, he got banned for inting too many ranked games.
Oh my god. Oh, and they play
Bullets.
Cold Metal next week. That that was probably one of their chances to maybe win a game, especially if Cold Metal kind of is still figuring things out with their compositions. The other player, Mugshot, actually, that you were telling me about is Rose, who was, I believe, their hit scan player. So it was very confusing for me because there are about 15,000 Overwatch players named Rose. But what do you see in Rose that kind of brings her to your attention?
Honestly, I think I was just looking at this whole roster, and this roster is less known. Like
This roster
I would
is
definitely
so random. Like,
yeah.
I think it's
not
fair
one
to
I
acknowledge that.
I think that it's players that could, mechanically potentially do something. I'm not sure if they'll actually be able to work as a cohesive team unit, especially with Olive being banned for a couple of weeks. Honestly, I was talking about Rose because I noticed how many Overwatch players were named Rose. To be honest, I was talking about that.
Well, sometimes, and no disrespect to new gens, but sometimes with teams like this, you got to find something to talk about. The backline of this team is so weird because you've got Moon, who was at one point sort of the kind of new-ish phrasing shouldn't.
Don't say that name.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that, but I should have used literally any other word to describe what I was trying to say. Was sort of the new support player out of Taiwan in the surprisingly long history of good support players from Taiwan, and now he has fallen to being the guy who has to stay on the roster from retirement home when they sell their slot.
He's held hostage.
At
At least he gets more money from it. All
I
just
think-
supporting the economy.
I think this roster is just one of those things. From what I've heard, at least, it's just something that was thrown together. Considering they were trying to find enough people to gather together that wanted to buy the slot, I'm not sure how cohesive the roster was planned to be.
Yeah.
Considering, I don't know if I know that some of the players paid money for it. I think also some players didn't. From what I know, I don't think C-Tones had to pay. He opted
So-
out for his winnings from the tournament or whatever it was. Look, I don't know how they're going to go. I don't really see them taking any games at all through the season. I think from what I heard from Jai himself, he was just wanting to play for experience, to play up against stronger teams, but I also don't think it's the way to do. I think buying slots is a bit ridiculous, especially if you haven't played in these level tournaments before. It kind of just makes more reason for Blizzard to dismantle our region again.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
Three of the players are on the same Face It team, no?
Yeah, I think they had a
DPS
face
in
it roster
plan.
together. Yeah. I know Upset Olive is currently being coached by Dank, one of the old Australian tank players, previously played for Boston Academy and whatnot. Because Dank was in my DM spamming me asking to give Upset Olive a trial for Fury, and I was just I'm not actually controlling of our roster or anything. It's kind of the team. I'm just running over VODs for the team. But I think it's also one of those things that this player has come out from Masters to GM in the last 3 months, and now is wanting to really push for the high leagues. But I'm not really sure how much experience those players have at all. if any.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a bit of a jumping the gun to put them into one of these tournaments for experience when they just kind of get beaten up a bit.
Yeah, C-Tones is another player from Undesirables, which, for those of you watching who don't know, Undesirables is a OWCS team playing in Face It. They played in open qualifiers as well, who I believe were formed basically from Unter's Discord. And Unter is technically their coach, and I think also their mascot. Hence the name. A couple of their players have found their way into Stage 3 rosters. C-Tones is one of them. The Israeli-Australian, I think, main support player who was just the topic of much conversation in Unter's stream chat when Newgens was playing. Kind of Anj-esque, you know? Kind of one of those sorts of players. I feel like every region just has a main support player that is just kind of the topic of funny, and no one really knows why.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think I actually coached the Undesirables roster for like a VOD previously, and I spoke with C-Tones. He is like one of those main support players that was kind of hanging around. I know that originally him and Kawhi, I think you're going to talk about later, were plat a couple of seasons ago, which is one of the like the jokes that was running through Hunter's chat of like plat to OWCS, anyone can do it. But
Well,
they like Kawhi and
Yeah, I was gonna
there
say.
was a plat last stage. A certain plat manager that we all love and adore. Yeah, apparently they just like duoed and ranked for a bit, and they ended up like liking each other, thinking each other were pretty good, and ended up making a team from that. And I think from what I heard, C-Tones kind of saw that there weren't really many main support players in Australia. The region has notoriously been quite weak for main supports, and it's always been hard to find main supports for teams, and people end up just bringing back like 30-year-old players from 8 seasons ago to fill into the roster because they know they have like experience at least. C-Tones is one of those players that saw that there was a gap in the market and has kind of been pushing to try and push further into these top teams, considering there is no one else to compete with.
Yeah.
And I think the team kind of trolls them a little bit for that.
You certainly gotta respect the hustle. We're gonna make another guest swap. Sar, thank you for coming, and we're gonna bring on Mememachine for the rest of the video.
Oh, good, sweet. Thank you for having me.
My favorite team, guys.
Is that? Oh my god. That's OG VARREL.
Golden.
That was from last year, yeah. So, VARREL. It's all about big bad VARREL. Mugshot, it's time to talk about your team. I Love You, the most lesbian team in OWCS Pacific. That is an inside joke to an obscure team that finished last place in Dreamlight's Chase the Stars tournament, but if you know, you know. I Love You has kind of done something interesting where they basically kept the Korean core, because like at its core this is kind of a Korean team first and foremost.
Kobe Bryant is back.
Kobe Bryant.
Orisa Spears.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I mean,
God.
That never missed.
the team is very much D0nghun's team, really. He is at the helm and making a lot of decisions there. So seeing him back is no big surprise, and I was surprised to see Poby back, to be quite honest. That was kind of last minute that we had Poby back. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we did.
I think they got
D0nghun
Kobe back
was
because of the slot reason.
D0nghun was the first customer of the retirement home.
And they
Yeah.
and they
A
were
valuable
extremely
customer.
good. They probably should have gotten second in the regular season if they didn't.
South Korean helping the Pacific economy out. Respect.
So the way that I want to frame the discussion about I Love You is really looking at last stage versus this stage and the players that they've brought in. Because last stage, their local core was, you had Regret, Jaco, and Winter Kame. And you've replaced that with DML, Miku, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Miku, I guess.
Miku? Yeah.
Cool Overwatch.
To be honest.
Miku?
OGs remember Mikoti? Hong Kong Attitude Mikoti from 2017.
I gotta be honest, my knowledge does not go that deep. I do not remember Hong Kong Attitude from 2017, unfortunately.
CQB and Mango Jive on that team, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. And they've replaced Kame with Huntin. So I'm going to assign each of these comparisons to one of you. So, Mugshot, I want you to give me your thoughts on Kame versus Huntin. Ryan, I want you to give me your thoughts on Jakku versus Mikau. And Mememachine, I want you to give me your thoughts on Regret versus DML. And we'll start with Mugshot. Do you think you have a better or worse support line?
I'd say it's not exactly apples to apples with the Kame versus Huntin. I think Huntin is a very accomplished player. He's quite good. I think Kame is probably, he's been around longer. He's might be the better mechanical player, but he did fall short a little bit in the mental game, especially when we started to lose against Cold Metal, as we talked about, when we weren't expecting to lose.
Time.
Yeah, and I think Huntin has a more solid mental there for when things aren't going so well. He's not gonna start yelling at the team, which could make a difference. I'm really not sure. I think that I'm a big fan of Huntin. I think he's a good player, so I think it's still solid for us.
Yeah, actually, Huntin was, I just looked this up because I forgot, but he was on Monster Year Gaming in Stage 1, but I don't think he really played much, right? He was just sort of there.
No, he was starting.
No, he was starting because I didn't play.
So
Remember,
long ago,
I
I don't
stopped.
remember.
Yes. Yeah, so I stopped playing. I only just played one series against TGG and
Dumbbell was a tank, man.
Dumbbell,
Machine
another
just quit the
terrorist.
team, bro. Couldn't stand it anymore. He just left the team.
I came back for one series and I see my tank hiding behind me. So I'm like, enough of this. And then the next season I got forced to play with him.
Yeah.
He's my terrorist, okay? And now because of that I'm terrorizing him.
Yeah, well, we can actually share this now,
fun
but...
fact?
Oh yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah. I think you're gonna say the same thing, right, about the Japanese team?
Yes, I was gonna say it. Do you want to say it, or should I say it?
I think
You
Dumbbell was
should say it,
supposed to
sir.
be in a team for Japanese Open
He
qualifiers.
was.
I mean,
He was
that
announced
team,
and registered.
That team didn't qualify anyways. But Mememachine messaged their captain and got him kicked one day before.
No, I did not message the
Good job,
captain.
good job,
I
Mitch.
messaged one of the guy. Yes, I'm doing my job, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual
And
then-
terrorizing is real, man.
He got him
terrorized me, I
kicked off the
terrorized
team.
you.
Yeah.
And then the
Unreal.
next season. Now, if you ask about Huntin, I think Huntin has potential, but I think he's a little bit he needs. Okay, how I feel, right? There's a separation between the old era and the new, and then the old era has a lot of knowledge, but then they kept the knowledge on, and then the new era people still lack a lot of knowledge. Some do have very good mechanics, have issues also.
Then why
For
don't
some
you
of
have
them,
any knowledge, Mememachine? I saw your
I
comms
have
in
the
your split
opposite.
today. Think you don't
I
have
am the opposite. I have no hands.
no hands, no brain.
I only have knowledge. I only have the knowledge.
Flat,
I have no
flat and
hands.
proud. Some would call that flat and proud.
We are gold and glad now.
Golden Glove.
Unless you actually flat and proud.
I mean, after your performance in that first match, it might be more like silver and serious, but.
Like a fraud coach.
I didn't play.
So,
There's no performance.
Ryan, what do you think about? Because I know you're such a big fan of Jaco, but do you think that going from Jaco to Mikau is an upgrade, a downgrade, a side grade? What do you think?
I mean, I'll give my opinion on all three. Downgrade, downgrade, downgrade. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, Jaco and Miku. I mean,
I should say Jaco is still on the team, but he's moved
he just has
sort
to
of a
keep the
backup.
slot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays like a couple maps here and there, but don't expect him to be starting at all.
I think Jaco has maybe a higher peak, but he's more inconsistent. I think they have different strengths. Jaco is a lot more stronger on hard projectile. He used to be known for his Pharah. I think after that maybe his Genji and things like that. I think Jaco is over the years has also become a more stronger communicator for his teams. I think back when he was still in our Thai team, Jaco Bird, he used to be one of the more silent players. But I watched some of the streams that they streamed last stage, and he was one of the, or not, maybe not IOY, but maybe from Monster Gear, but he was one of the more vocal communicators, which I think is really necessary for a tracer player, a flex DPS player. Something that a lot of Tracer players in our region lack. But I think his mechanics have kind of fallen off over the years. But I think Miku is a more consistent Tracer. I think Miku's hero pool is more of like similar to Daisy in Japan, where it's more like hit scan plus Tracer. But because of like language barrier, I think because I watched like the streams from, I don't know who streamed, but someone streamed on Super Idol, maybe Huntin, for their qualifiers, and he didn't talk. He didn't talk at all. He was basically like almost perma-mute, so that could be an issue. And also Miku is like bloody old, so
Is there a major language barrier for most of the Hong Kong players? Because my assumption was that most of them was it like you just like school children in Hong Kong get taught English,
yeah,
but
it just depends on your upbringing.
I see, yeah. And lastly, I think from what we talked about earlier in the podcast about Regret, I think like Regret is probably a better player than
Danos
DML.
of Pacific.
Yeah, he's
Regret
legit. Like
Danos.
he's actually had a remarkable rise this year. But
I think he's the best new player this year.
yeah,
honestly.
I think that's I think that's fair to say. Okay, I was gonna ask Mememachine about Regret versus DML, but it seems like he's gone off to do something else. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to
I'm back.
okay. We're
I
gonna
like
move
your
on
haircut,
to
Mememachine. You get cut recently.
So
It's looking
anyway,
clean, no?
all right. Let's do it. Let's talk about Cold
I'm just here
Metal.
to terrorize.
So, Cold Metal,
We just had a
Talk about
stream.
Cool Metal.
you guys got
Cold Metal is
obliterated in your first match. I can't put it any other more charitable way. I mean, Mugshot, you were watching it with me. Would you agree with that assessment? Yeah, obliterated. Yeah.
I
me
don't
start this.
understand what they were looking for on some
Okay.
of their backline choices there, to be honest.
I'm flipping the narrative, guys. I'm speaking this. Fuck
can
you,
I-
Mememachine. Stop scapegoating Spook. Kill Arya right now. Comms are
Okay.
shit. Terrible. Okay, it's not Spook's fault. Okay, he might be the first dying on Juno every fight, but Soaks was equally feeding. You are not the solution. Get off Kiriko in scrims and just pack it up, man.
Yeah. I mean, look,
I rendered him speechless.
I
no.
watched
You let him see.
I watched this team sort of form. It seemed like there was some sort of semi-merger happening with Full House, the team that I was social media managing, and Cold Metal. So I was kind of following that. And, when I heard, oh, okay, like Speed and Joe, like that's good. That's a good DPS line. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, Kyron, okay, I thought he was pretty good. Oh, wow, they got Protect. Okay, that's pretty crazy. And, you got Kyron there too. He can probably learn a lot from this experienced Korean player. I think Kyron's gotten better this year. And then I heard about the backline. And in a world in which, you look at Korea,
Go
right?
next.
And there are a couple of teams that don't really even have like a traditional main support player. Like their main support is a converted flex support who learned Lucio. And Cold Metal has gone with a really innovative approach of actually having 3 main support players and no flex support players. And one guy on ping from Ontario and Spook, who hasn't played on a team since stage 1 of last year. And Mememachine, who right before we
even play that
recorded
stage.
this... Yeah, and Mememachine, who right
the
before
last
this
time
podcast
Spook
was playing
played-
Deadlock.
Fun fact, the last time Spooks played was in 2023 for Brainlets. Guess where Brainlets qualified from? They bought a slot from Lumi. Go back! It's Lumi again. Everyone's career.
Retirement home.
The OG. You have to
Retirement
respect,
home.
man. Lumi has started many players' careers. Flame the slot buying all you want. It's good.
He's also
giving
arguably ended
opportunities.
several players' careers, but... Mugshot,
I
think the
started
big
Speed's
problem-
career by accident.
The big problem with this
I
roster
think
is I don't-
Mememachine has ended more careers than Lumi.
I'm trying to end one right now. In fact, two. I try to
In
end
fact,
2 people's careers right now.
Soul still has a coaching gig on
Yeah.
Best of Crew. We need to get that sorted out.
Mugshot, what were you going to say?
I was I'll say I think the big problem with this roster is they don't have any managers playing for them right now, which I just don't
We
know
have
how they
one.
plan to
We
make
have
that.
one.
Yeah, Spook.
Oh,
As well, like
But,
okay.
yeah.
On a more serious note, I think what
Guys,
it
stop
seemed
scapegoating
like
Spook, okay?
with, with the there was the Juno Brig, which seemed, because I remember Mememachine you saying that you thought that Juno was Spook's best hero, like mechanically.
No, it's the other way around.
What?
It's not his best hero. It is his best hero, but it's because it's the only hero he can play.
Well,
It's the other.
and the Kiri Moira was weird, but I've seen that work in this region before.
Okay.
Also,
First of all,
the
I'm
Kiri
gonna
Moira.
debunk this.
Ryan,
Shut up, I'm gonna debunk this. You can't say Spook can only play Juno. You guys got wrote the first 2 maps on Juno, and guess what what Spook was playing on the map, you guys almost won. Bloody Kiriko, okay? Stop this fake news narrative. This is fake news. It literally got proven in the match itself. You didn't win a fight on Juno, he went to Kiri, and you guys were like 2 fights away from winning the match.
I think part of that was
Okay,
also
I'll say
like,
I'll defend the coach. Okay, I'll
Speed was
defend the coach.
playing
So there's a
amazing
huge.
that map. I think also.
I'll defend. I'll say there's a huge language barrier right now for our team, so we're trying to sort it out. So protect, right?
This
He's
is what
very
you do.
good, but then
You need to be anti-Korean, fire protect, fire Arya, put Kyron back in, get back the OG Plat and Proud identity, and we are going all the way to Korea, baby. Just like we did to Riyadh. Let's go.
I think if you do that, can you drop out and can you ask Fury to drop out too? Then maybe we have a chance. But then
I think you might need a little more help than that.
yeah.
If every other team dies in a plane crash, no. Look, when I
He's
posted
right.
my power rankings on Twitter, I put you guys third, and I got humbled pretty quickly. A lot of that was because I still believe so much in Speed 75 to be just this sort of game-changing player, which I think he can be, because we've seen it. Like, even on that third map, I think you guys only got so close to winning that map, I think, because of Speed. I think this DPS line, at their peak, I think they can go toe-to-toe with High Vision and Bun, or with Nyang and Chex. But they just are not reaching that peak as consistently.
I mean, the meta now is more favoring towards double flex DPS, right? And if you look across the rosters of all the teams, Cove Battle should be the team that is favored the most in this new meta. Look at Korea, every team is playing double flex DPS. Crazy Raccoon just trailed Falcons handily, playing Spine and Hisang. So Cove Battle, they should be good for it, but they're still forcing hit scan, and Joe is getting run down on hit scan every map, even though he can play Tracer. Playing a stationary comp versus dive, just lose, bro, just lose.
They could get a Lifeweaver
Charlie.
too. If Mememachine jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got nerfed. Okay, he got destroyed. Okay, obliterated already from that yawns. But anyway, so I'll defend my coach. Okay, so from what we heard and from what I've been told from the players. Okay, so originally I was not supposed to play. Just like last season, I'm not supposed to play. This season, we're still deciding whether I'm playing or not. Okay, we had a scrim. So the huge language issue is like causing a lot of problems now. Like how our tank is always like disconnected from the rest of us, and so we always play in like split positions. But I think once we improve, so hopefully we have the time and hopefully have like the resource of like translator to help us. Then if there's any translator can help us out. But if you ask about why we did the backline, because they tried a lot of different kind of backlines during scrims beforehand. So they copied 99 Divines, Kiriko Moira before that. They tried that. They tried Kiriko Lucio. They tried a lot of backlines, and the best one that came out from previous meta and the scrims was their Juno Brick, because of the limitations. If I want to say anything, Spook has the same issue as, if you remember long ago, a player called Chun Li, where Spook doesn't really move a lot because I think he's a little bit inexperienced. He doesn't move in a organic way. I don't know how to say it.
Most people don't move either.
That seems pretty
Pacific.
important for a fast-paced
For
hero
the-
shooter video game.
I mean,
For like the
Right.
Kiriko or the Juno, yeah, I feel like that's the most important. But
we're just
if you
an
ask me, I
immovable
think
region.
so. We'll see how it is. Like, I mean, I stopped playing the game. Like, my mechanics are shit now, and shit back then also. But we'll see what we can do also right now. We're still deciding about,
Kovacs,
and
man.
if we do not get our stuff sorted out, maybe it's give up. That's the only thing.
It was one game. Like, it's probably the third best team in the region.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're giving up
That's-
and they're over exaggerating over a solid loss against a top 3 roster. What the hell does that even? What? Let me say this. You're defending your coach. I'll say this. Let's look at Arya's results this year. He was last place in China, a Mickey Mouse region. He was fucking second last in Japan, an even more Mickey Mouse region. And last stage, he was just jerking off on Mengong 2, the worst team of all time with Intak the terrorist. This is the coach you got.
Okay, wait. To be fair to him, right? In
And your other
Mengong,
coaches the bloody
Intak-
D0nghun, for fuck's sake. You exampled the all-time
Intak-
shitter coaching staff.
That's
Intak
true.
is the bigger terrorist than anything. Okay, if anything for that, I will defend him for
At
the
this
Mengong.
point, I
at
think you
least.
need me to draft for you again, right? Like last stage. I
Arya-
think you're just not gonna listen to what I say again.
Arya coached
Well,
Amplify in North America, Face It, and they almost got relegated. So,
But didn't they get, like, they went from OWCS to a solid 14th place and Face It with 2 Korean imports. That's gotta be an all-time... He needs to retire, maybe. And you know what? He probably won't even understand this.
I
Man.
hope Arya doesn't see this.
We have,
So
the,
it's all
we
good.
have the D0nghun man to save us all. Don't worry, we have a backup.
You also have Soaks.
Yeah, so how did that happen?
Okay,
The
so
guy who got
originally we
7th
thought.
place in Thailand contenders.
Okay, so originally we
Masters
thought this is give up season. So like, oh, just for fun play. And then suddenly happened is that they promised him. And like I said, the whole time they were making the team, I was just sitting back and I'm like, okay, I quit the game already. You need me on the slot, I'm just here. But to be fair to Soaks, I think he's been alright actually, and I don't think it's just a lot of like issues from what I've seen. A lot of like macro issues.
Exactly,
stuff.
everything is
So we need to
alright.
sort it
Yet
out.
you're saying you're gonna give up after 1 match. How does that even make sense?
This
Fine,
is just-
bro.
This
just
is
lock
turning
in and
into
play
a
the game.
this is turning into a cold
It's
metal
okay.
therapy session a little bit.
I came here to defend my boy Spook, okay? This is
mean,
undeserved hate. Hashtag
you
save
play-
Spook.
You guys play us last again, which means you can beat us to ruin our second seed the second time in a row. So
Wait, what? Wait, we're fighting
Yeah.
again?
you,
I mean-
you play us. Yeah, we're the last game of the regular season as you
yeah,
versus us.
and
so
you play
Oh, yeah.
Newgens next week, and that, especially if they still don't have Upset Olive, that should be a win.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If you lose like 2 maps to New Gen, just give up.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
just
think
give up.
that's fair. If you
Yeah,
lose
it's
to
fine.
Newgens,
Yeah,
it might be
but
over. It might
It's
be
Jay
just-
on tank too. It's Jay on tank too. You have a bloody Korean guy. His last team was O2 Blast. If you lose to Jay on tank, just honestly just give up. Just forfeit all your matches. Just off roll. Just put you on DPS like you kept saying you would play. You know what?
That's
Whatever.
true.
Technically, his last
that's
team was 0 in getting knocked out of Korea Open qualifiers, but points still taken.
And you know who was on that team too? Arya.
Arya was playing DPS, right? With Karu.
Yet he couldn't figure out that the DPS meta.
Yeah,
is
man, if only you guys had Karu on this team, that would kind of solve a lot of your problems. Anyway, we've got 2 more teams to talk about. This
Have we
cold
talked
metal,
about invaders?
we talked about invaders already.
Speaking of your power
Have we talked
rankings,
about
Ben, how
Stronghold?
do you feel about Beepo himself replying to your tweet to rethink your power rankings and also tweeting that look at their scrim results. The Aura Kings will not be stopped. Slot buyers are noobs, you know?
What did Beeple say to my power rankings?
He said like rethink your power rankings, Benjamin or something
Might
like
want to
that.
rethink, buddy. I got the official
might
Trap
wanna
12
rethink.
account.
So can I get after yesterday's match, where will you place them?
I cannot remember. So my problem is actually I keep mixing up who is on Invaders and who is on I Love You. It's hard because their starting lineup, both teams, is 2 Australians, 2 Koreans, and a guy from Hong Kong. And I think very visually about, like, when I think of a roster, I tend to think of like what their Liquipedia card looks like, you know. So it's the same. But anyway, I thought they looked not amazing. They looked better on Watchpoint. Like, I thought their Watchpoint Gibraltar defense was decent. And I thought finally looked good on Tracer on Suravasa. I think, like, I don't know.
Finally looked Korean. Taro didn't
Finally
really look
looked
too Korean.
Yeah, Taro, I think also, like, I don't know how much he's played.
Oh my god,
since-
you know what was so funny? like Ja Morant. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name,
Yeah, I
but
think that's it.
my guy picked the Winston throwing bubble perk. He just wants to play some basketball, man. It was so fucking funny.
Apparently, I've heard some people saying the Winston bubble perk is like really strong because
Guy
you can
was
use
just
it to
3-pointer into the backline, throwing the bubble in. Yes, let's go.
you could use it to like block sleep dart and other cooldowns.
Also,
as
he
you
played
go.
Ram on the second point and held Annihilation for 2 points. By the way, guys, Ram is dead. Please read the patch notes.
I think
Yeah.
with this Invaders roster, honestly, I was surprised that they won the open quals. They weren't a team that I saw beating Retirement Home,
They had
to be
Brett
honest.
Turtle, man. The
I
guy
I,
They
just-
did it
I,
for
I, I
Red
thought they were
Crew,
the best.
yeah.
I thought they were the strongest team in open qualifiers. I mean,
Yeah.
if you just look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
like Kurumi is like, you know, Kurumi and
I mean, they were
John
the only
Moran
team
are
playing
good.
Ram Sim, so they
Yeah.
were strong. The only opponents were Retirement Home, who didn't even know what was the meta.
I want to talk about Stronghold real quick. This is the team that bought Full House's slot, keeping Arc.
They also announced Yoshinori and Overshake on their roster, which I think it's a bit delusional, along with an AI graphic as well.
they had a roster announcement.
So they had the money to buy the slot, but they didn't have the money to
I did not see the
to get
roster
someone to
announcement.
design their. Wait, let me send it to you. It's quite funny. I think they posted it today. And then the best part is they tagged 2 of the players and said they were the ones who made it on Photoshop.
Stronghold NZ.
Wait.
I like that they're representing New Zealand.
They don't represent us.
Which is not even allowed. I just realized New Zealand is a.
Well, it's more
important
just
region.
like, you know,
Yeah.
like
They also put hashtag Yoshinori2 there. What?
yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think it's funny that Overshake and Yoshinori 2K are technically on this roster. That's really funny. Look, this team is not good. I mean, I don't feel any shame in saying that. I actually think they might be the worst team. Well, them or Newgens are going to be bottom probably.
Yeah, actually, like,
I
They
have
were
one thing I need to
yesterday.
counterpoint. I have one big counterpoint to
Go
them,
for it.
which is why I think New Gens might be better. Is I know who their secret tank coach is, and it's this man right here, Mr. Dumbbell. Is their secret.
The arch
I'm
enemy.
trying to end his career. I'm trying to end his career. Okay.
Who is Lake?
I have no clue, but it is a friend of Dumbbell. Okay, and he's trying to.
Wait,
And he's
you
coaching
know,
him.
but next week you have to on player cams. There'll be player cams next week. What? Can you put the picture? Can you put the cam back on? What if his player cam looked a bit like that?
Yo, wait,
Hold up.
they're doing player cams in pack?
Yes,
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
doing.
That's
next week.
awesome.
You know what's the best part? They
I've
told
wanted
us
that
to
back
on
for
our
years.
cameras to test. Wait, no, they told us to on our cameras to test their system, and our match was the last match of the day, right? So we're like, okay, sure, let's turn it on. They didn't even give us permission to turn on our camera in the channel,
Mm.
and it had been 6 hours.
That's actually really. I'm really excited for that. That's like player
Yeah,
cams
because
are something I've wanted back for a
Have
while.
this.
Roof-
I have my prop.
Roof did it for because Roof is the one streaming, right? They did player cams for Thai contenders back in the day too.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
So
like,
it's,
I think
it's pretty good.
I think it's a really good way for players to like help players build their
Yeah.
brand. Gives you like fun gifs, like the Sato drinking the Coke.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one
Let's put some filters on.
I will say I thought
Machine can put a red filter. Put some like red ear filters on. You know.
I think
Mickey
even
Mouse.
That'll be
though
red.
so this
Can I spook play
Yeah,
then
red
have like
machine.
the You know
I
what we
want
need
to
to do? We need
quickly
to have-
give Stronghold a little bit of attention just because I think it's fair. This is sort of the continuation of a roster that's had a couple of names in OWCS, but it's like sort of the continuation of what was called like Avoided OWCS and then was like Prevail ANZ. It's gone by a couple names, but it really is like this is sort of Diego Possum's team.
God, speaking of that, yeah. You know what's funny? To buy the slot, they had to get Arc, which means they kicked like Astro Blade, which was like one of their OG players from Avoided OCE.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that a snake moment?
Huh.
Hmm.
that's weird. It's Slot Mania. What are you gonna do?
You know what's funny? They also asked they also asked Full House if we paid more money, could we get Yoshinori to play for us? Which was obviously a no. But
if I was
respect
Yoshi,
them
I mean,
for
that would have been.
throwing that offer out
Dude,
there.
I wish Yoshi was playing. Yeah. Stronghold plays Newgens in week 3, so we will be waiting with bated breath for that matchup. I've saved the best for last. Nosebleed Esports with one of the best logos I've ever seen. This is so cute. I want it like I want him like I want like a plushie of him or at least like a sticker or something. It's so cute. This feels like a return. This feels like you as a manager kind of going back to your roots with the Thai core and Kame and Clear. Like, I remember when I heard whispers of this, I was like, are you going to bring back the DAF branding? You decided to go in a different direction, which is fair, but this feels like, and I think this is somewhat fair to say, this is a little bit of a spiritual successor to like what that team was in terms of the players on it. So tell us a little bit, how did you get Clear to come back to APAC?
Okay, so after last stage, you know what? Low key, everyone in the region, we weren't gonna scream, we weren't gonna do anything, we were just gonna lose, right? Right, Mememachine. Full House was just gonna throw
Yes.
Joe on tank. Gatos
Yes.
probably just not gonna scream, but you know what? Suddenly they announced the slot, so maybe people wanted to try again. You know, it's a classic pack story. We try, but we don't really try. Then we lose. Then we cope that we could have tried harder. You know, the classic. Mememachine knows this best. He's the perpetrator the entire time. But after a horrible loss at the last stage, not a choke by the way, we deserve to lose. A wise man reached out. His name is Mushroom. You might know him, coach for Dev. He told me he knew we were gonna lose from the start, even though I'm pretty sure he has probably watched at most 2 matches of OWCS this year. He said we were definitely gonna lose. I asked him why would you say that? He said, why would you ever pick up Peppy and EasyHan, right? You know, Peppy top 4 tank last from the previous stage, EasyHan, why would you ever pick them up? He said, Koreans can never work with SCA players. And he even said, oh, look at Overwatch League, who won the Overwatch League. It's always full Korean teams, you need to speak the same language. So C players can have carried by NA imports, can get carried by EU imports, can throw in the Australian in there like we did with Dank or R3K, but can never get Koreans. And yeah, I think he was right. I mean, no hate to Peppy and EasyHan, likable guys, they're pretty funny. But I think communication was a huge problem with that roster. So if we wanted to try where to actually make a nice environment where even if we didn't really scream a lot, we could make it work. Before that, I think I was talking to Clear a bit, and when the slot got announced, I messaged him whether he'd be interested to play. And Clear was just bumming out on Sakura, where they had no chance to go to LAN. And in Pacific, like we had a pretty good chance. It was 3-man race. This was also before we knew that the top 2 pack teams go to Korea too. And you know, Clear, he's always good to go to Korea and farm some fans, you know. It's what he does best. Always good to go to LAN. So Clear said, yeah, we can get a decent roster. We can play. And I mean, we didn't really have the best ending with Bleed with Clear. But you know what? If KSA and UB they got back together, they defeated Koreans. You know, I think we can do it too. And so we got Clear. Great, step 1. Okay, 1 person. Okay, we have Pali 2. We have 2 people. We had 2 people on roster for a longer time. Okay, day by day I was getting more cooked. I mean, High Vision joined. Okay, sure, let's go High Vision. High Vision's back on hit scan. No more Tracer jail. Actually, he might need to play Tracer now, since the meta is double flex. But you know what? High Vision on main DPS. Looking good. Here comes the problem. We have nobody else. Ace definitely won't play. He's playing Marvel. Soggy is taking a break this stage, and he's Thanos of SCA. Without Thanos, what can we do? We wanted to get Junko, because you know what, I decided, you know what, we got to drop the ego, give some upcoming players a chance. Let's reach out to Junko. Apparently Junko
Up and comer Junko.
Yep. And guess what? Junko couldn't play, actually, because he might have to go to the military soon. Unlucky, you know. Happens to the best of us. So finally, we asked Akame. Sure, man, he'd be good for it. A little bit old, but he still got it. He reached champion yesterday. All good, man. Here's the thing. We still have one more slot. We can't 4v5 and win. So you know what? I went back on my morals a bit, okay? I started looking and I started finding the forbidden type of player, the Korean, okay? I started reaching out to a few Koreans. I think they wanted too much money. 2,000, 3,000. I didn't have that much money. We're just Pacific, man. We're like bums. We're scraps.
Like 100.
And the last
That's all you
day,
get.
the last day of the roster lock, still didn't have anyone. I mean, we're reaching out to people like Premier, which is like there's no way we're winning with that. And even if we got in a Korean, right? They'll probably just be a tracer one trick anyway. Probably couldn't speak English. Probably just shit the bed and lose. So Clear, I think Clear just get someone you're comfortable playing with. And he decided to ring up an old friend, Bun. I mean, none of us were really familiar with Bun, but Clear said that he really trusted her. Played together for a long time. They're good synergy. Clear said he trusts Bun a lot. And I think it's always best to make your tank comfortable, right? It's obvious like Clear can carry our team, especially in this meta. So we make him comfortable, it's good. And one more person that speaks English is also good. At least they understand each other. Oh, we have Ace there to keep the slot. Just come back and play some Torbjorn, maybe we need him. We're at our final piece, the one who joined the Discord server at the very last moment. After he got thrown to the ocean by the snake Mememachine, we saved him. MSCG, we saved the man from the snake war of cold metal. He probably won't play, but he comes to spec our scrims. I respect it. Anything to save the poor people from the snakes lurking in the grass of Pacific, like the one above me.
More Thai representation is always good.
Unfortunately, we couldn't save everyone, so Kyron is still stuck with them, so unlucky.
Hopefully Kyron will learn something from Protect, maybe. Bun, if for those of you who don't know, Bun is really one of the finest products of Calling All Heroes, I would say. She obviously hasn't just played that, but that is really where she kind of made her name. Has been around for several years now, played in contenders, but like really made a name for herself, just kind of dominating Calling All Heroes on Mei and Tracer and Pharah and Genji and Venture. Played OWCS last year with Avidity and Timeless Ethereal. I thought that she was kind of taking a step back from like kind of high-end pro play, but to see her back on this team is really, really awesome. It's really, really cool to see her playing in APAC. And you want to know what the funniest thing about all this is? Bun's American, but do you want to know like what her ethnic background is?
Wait, that doesn't fit my narrative, okay?
It's funny! It's a great punchline! She's Korean American! It's perfect!
You're disrupting.
You're
ruining his vibe. You are ruining his vibe. Yes.
It's funny!
Wait.
It's funny!
Thank you. You doomed this team.
I'm not dooming the team. She's American. It's just funny.
Lost now.
It's just funny.
Oh
no,
God.
but Bun is a real talent, and I think she actually, if this meta is trending in a double flex DPS direction, I think she is really the kind of player that you want. Like on Venture and Tracer, her Mei is insane, even if Mei is kind of out of the meta right now. My question is actually a little bit with the support line, because I think Winter Kame, I don't know what he wants to be called right now. I'll just say Kame for ease of everyone understanding, but I think Kame is very good on support. I did notice in the first match, there was a point where you were playing Kame, Lucio, and Polly on Kiriko. I think they're both quite flexible and can both play kind of a bit of main and flex support. Is that the arrangement that you're planning to stick with, or are you still kind of figuring out the roles of the support line?
I mean, first of all, I would like to correct you on something. You said Bun is returning to a high level of play. I would like to correct you that Pacific is the lowest level of play you can ever find. So it's not really that high, honestly.
Ryan.
And you know what about the
Have you heard of
meta?
Face of Masters? No C.
I mean,
We don't
yeah,
count that. The
there
prize
was
money is
South America?
There was a plat player who's now apparently gold the last stage. So
Well, that was.
I mean, on a more serious topic, I'd like to thank Supreme for forcing High Vision, a once talented hit scan player in SEA, on Tracer for an entire stage. Because guess what? Apparently it's a double flex DPS meta, and well, luckily he had practice on Tracer for a stage. That's good.
Didn't help that you had Soggy on support duty the whole time, but
Yeah, we're cooked. I mean, about Harley and Winter, Kame, Marcus, many names. Probably a name in there before too. I mean, they can play both roles, which is better than Cold Metal, which can only play main support. So
if that.
the thing is, we're all washed, man. I don't know. Okay, so what happened was that I messaged Kame. So you want to play our team as support? Initially, he said he didn't want to play support. And I was like, why would you play DPS? You're not gonna get top dragon, man. Come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves. I think we can all agree that. Okay, he's gonna play support. I asked him, do you want to play flex or main? Apparently, according to him, he doesn't even like to play flex support unless it's Ana.
Yeah.
So I guess he was on main support. But the funny thing is that Pali wanted to play main support to this stage. But you know what? Whatever, man. Pali can play anything.
I mean, I will say
good.
with the way that D0nghun described Wu Yang earlier, I think actually seems like the kind of hero Pali could be really good at.
Yeah.
Sort of like Juno, where it's this kind of between flex support and main support skill sets that I think Pali really thrives in.
Yeah.
So very excited to see like if that is a route you guys decide to go down.
I mean, currently Kame is a Wu Yang player, and no particular reason for that. I think Wu Yang does most of the time is the main support playing it, right? Because you would play with Kiri, play with
Right.
we have to see, but I think Wu Yang is kind of like Juno, right? Where the other hero can be like a Break, can be like a Kiri, so it rewards really flexible backlines. Something that maybe a certain backline in the call here lacks. I'm not gonna name names, but yeah.
Yeah, I have no faith in I Love You to play. Nah. You're just...
I mean, Jongwoo is the bloody Break one trick, man.
Yeah.
He's crying when Break is banned. I told him, come on, just show the
Jongwoo's been
Jongwoo Yang, man.
Jongwoo's been practicing a lot to make his Ajaxes a lot better. So
I remember when
more
I was
cinematic.
spectating his scrim,
Yeah.
he would
But
Ajax
what
once
happened?
a map.
Yeah. We had one scrim in the new patch before a match against a team you might recognize. They're called the Gatos Guapos, I think. And then on the first map, Kame just locked Wu Yang, and I guess he's now a Wu Yang player. So
yeah. So I want to wrap up. Look, we've talked about every team this stage at length, but I think with the possible exception of Fury, who I think could maybe punch into that top two, this does ultimately feel like a 2-horse race between Gatos Guapos and Nosebleed.
I think it's a 3-horse race. I think Cold Metal deserves a shout.
You know, I would love to live in that world. You know what? Yeah, it's a 3-horse race. But
if we include Cold Metal, we may as well include ILY as well. You know.
That's true.
Okay, sure. It's an 8-horse race.
May as well.
It's an 8-horse race, but a couple of the horses only have 3 legs. I feel like we're being so mean to Spook, and he's not here to defend himself.
Wait, guys. We're getting it all wrong. It's a bloody 0-horse race. We're just gonna lose to VARREL.
No one is losing to... Okay, like, genuinely, I actually think VARREL is being a bit... I think the real advantage that...
Top Dragon is gonna open our asshole, and not in the good way.
I don't think the gap...
all our teams into one team. and we can beat VARREL.
Man, if only somebody made some sort of Pacific super team last stage, but then their flex support left like a week before roster lock, forcing them to put Soggy on flex support. Anyway, I think...
I don't think that was the problem. If only we didn't have Koreans.
Well, anyway, the thing I wanted to say was I think
if we spoke English, we would have won. Guys, English, by the way, English.
I think
there's no English broadcast for PAC though, so
we have
there's
Hunter.
a lack of English there.
Yeah,
we always
Hunter
have more
streaming.
English in the world.
Hunter was going to co-stream the entire stage, I think.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad. The viewership was like pretty good. Like the mainstream
About
had like
2,000,
2K
3,000.
and Hunter had another 2K. It was solid. Couple extra dozen or 100 from like checks and lights streams was good. The point I want to sort of close on is I think the big advantage that I think Japan has over Pacific right now is actually the quality of coaches that they have. And I think you can kind of see that with the rapid improvement of kind of the mid-table.
You say that, but Arya came from Japan, so...
Arya was not coaching a top team in Japan. I'm talking about, like, you know, Day1 and Undine and Dai Smooth and Sky.
It's actually Dala Smooth. It's
that's
L, not the I.
Interesting. I there you go. I didn't know that. But if you look at a player-to-player level, I think Top Dragon is a bit better than Bun. I do not think Top Dragon is an entire tier above Bun or Color Hex. And I think if you look at how Top Dragon is performed when he's in the same regions as Bun or when he was in EU, yes, he's good. He is not leaps and bounds better. I think Clear and Punk are probably both a bit better than KSG. Like, I think VARREL's biggest advantage is their coaching and their synergy. But I think there has been so much doom and gloom that I've heard from all you Pacific old heads about VARREL. Oh, we can't beat VARREL. You guys used to eat VARREL for breakfast.
Like, we just can't. We can't.
You used to eat VARREL for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Full-time gaming house, scrim 6 hours a day.
You have the money.
Party scrimming 4 hours of Marvel a day instead of Overwatch, man.
Japan has over the double the price pool in our region. Like, there's no wonder
they literally have Kyuki. They have Kyuki cooking food for them every day of the week.
Kyuki is the team ship. That's amazing. That is amazing.
They have like Nico. They have Captain Japan. What more do you need? Like, Japan is up and coming, guys. It's definitely a very good region. Very good.
I just think that we need a little. I think you guys need to be a little more optimistic. Because I really don't think that VARREL is as insurmountable as you seem to think they are. Like, if they lost that map 5 to Rock, we would be having a totally different conversation right now.
No, we wouldn't.
No, we still have the same thing. I'm pretty sure we'll still agree.
I don't know.
I'm ready to bow down to my Japanese overlords any day.
Ryan just wants a job.
If you ask...
with a Japanese team.
You know what? Well, Japan will probably still have a region next year. We probably won't.
I can get my $500 a month for 3 months.
On that note, thank you all for watching. Go APAC. Whoever wins the region and has a shot to go to Stockholm, we will all be behind them. Whether it's Cold Metal,
it will be VARREL. It will be VARREL.
Ryan, I'm trying to be positive, man, and you're like really bringing all this negative energy into like this space.
How many of these videos have we recorded? Like, did we do one
5?
last year?
We didn't do a preview last year.
You can see like my optimism from the start.
Honestly, you're PAC's biggest hater. Like, you're in the region, you hate us the most.
He's being realistic.
Oh no, I understand that much.
PAC's biggest hater?
He's.
I mean,
he was the biggest hoper.
He was the biggest PAC's biggest cheerleader and biggest hater.
I've stopped my strategy. Okay, ask me, Machine. I used to be PAC's biggest coper. I realized that. I think sometimes we need a bit hate, you know. So.
Oh, just motivate us.
He's also switched his strategy to hating Australia. Also.
I think
you were saying you were like refusing to have Australians on your team, I think, right?
That's not true. What do you mean?
Yes, Soggy, the honorary Australian.
Yeah.
So the honorary
And
Australian.
Dank, so it doesn't matter.
True. Oh dang.
We had Dang. Come
But
on, man. We had Dang.
True. My bad.
But I think if you ask the honest, it's like I think quality of players like Pacific should be better, but they have the better coaches and they have like more money.
Mememachine.
Like we cannot beat
Turn
them.
to the sign you're facing and look at what you're looking at. That is the quality of the players in the Pacific
Yeah, this is
region.
the no. This is the quality of my coach, my manager. Okay, this is the one. 159. Okay, 159 games played. Don't play. Ignore the plat team.
I mean, you talk about coaching, the coaching diff in Japan. I think we got solid manager diff in Pacific. Our managers are so good; they can
That's
slot
true.
into the lobby
Yeah.
anytime.
Look at Mugshot. Look
True.
at the guy what's his name?
I mean, I basically
Oh.
carried
Yeah.
Kometo in the draft all of last stage. I take entire credit for that. That win against IOL was all me. No thanks to Damo, by the way. We probably needed to exterminate Damo after that series, but he's gone now, so all good, guys. Soon we need to probably execute, maybe protect. So
All right. Well, let's try not to kill anybody for losing a video game match, but thank you.
a video might be in the near future on my Twitter.
Oh, God.
The replay codes are gone. You cannot see Spook's gameplay.
That's
Oh,
always next week.
well,
Wait, no, not Spook Mememachine. The target will be you if you play. The target will be you. It will not be Spook.
well.
Oh,
I
no,
think
no, no.
every
Better
cold
shut
playing
metal
up
Live
game
Fever then.
is gonna be.
You know, I'm playing Lifeweaver then. I'm playing Lifeweaver to save myself.
All right. Thank you
Wow.
everybody
Well, I don't
for
even know who my
watching.
team is playing.
Please like, subscribe, share, tune into OWCS Pacific every Thursday at 6 a.m. US East Coast time, 6 p.m. Southeast Asia time on the OW Esports Thailand channel, or you can watch Unter's English co-stream where he doesn't know anything about most of the players.
Please
but
tune
it's
in,
fun.
guys.
It's fun. Please watch.
It might be
There are
the
drops.
last chance you see us.
I really hope not. That would be unfortunate. I don't want to lose this region that I've had so much fun with. But
Where would Cold
Same.
Metal go if the region closes down?
I don't know, South America maybe?
That's true.
Cold metal.
Looking
There are plats
looking
everywhere. in the world.
Looking for
looking for any manager who wants to play.
Yeah, I can do it.
I mean, I'm not plat, but I could join in.
Yeah, I'm a
Wait, what rank
manager.
are you?
I think I could play. I've got Diamond Tank. That's my lowest, I think.
Oh, too high.
Too high. We'll see y'all soon. Thank you for watching.